What's up, guys? Welcome to Weigel Friends English, and today we're going to piggyback off of our last phrasal verb video on expressions of caring. We did 23 phrasal verbs of caring. Today we're actually going to have a natural conversation using those phrasal verbs.
Right, and we've prepared the prompt a little bit, the questions ahead of time, but we're not necessarily going to try to use all 23 phrasal verbs. We're going to try to have a natural conversation so you guys can see how these phrasal verbs kind of play out in a natural conversation.
All right, so Josh, what are some ways that you have been taken care of in the last few years?
One of the ways that I know has been a really big help for me is that I have been a student for the past couple of years because of my graduate school. And so I feel like I've been helped a ton by other people, whether that's just helping me and helping me take care of my kids like your parents, or for you to be able to help me to get my study time in or something like that. I feel like I've been helped a lot over the recent years.
It's just a lot of people looking after us.
Right, absolutely.
Looking out for us too in times where you've just had a lot pile up on one day. And it's like, we need help with kids so he can work like multiple hours, not just a few. You know?
Right, and just you watching out for my time and making sure that it's not interrupted by other things. Like studying is really hard, especially as an adult, because you want to be doing other things, but for you to be able to kind of guard that time for me a little bit has been very useful.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of a no-brainer that we had to do that because our kids are so young.
Right.
So we literally had to like barricade this room is what it felt like.
Yeah.
And put you in headphones and stuff so you didn't hear as much going on so that you could study and you could focus. But when we started, we were actually at my parents' house and I was pregnant with our daughter, and you took the most hours at that time.
I took 16 hours the first semester because I wanted to try to get as much done before the new baby.
Yeah.
And that was a good move. It was smart, but it was hard.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of people just really come alongside us in the last couple of years.
Especially loving on our kids during that time, because it's been crazy.
Yeah.
So for you, what are some responsibilities you've taken on over these recent years? We've kind of talked about it just a little bit just now, but what are some other responsibilities you feel like you've taken on?
Definitely because of school. So for those of you that don't know, 2.5 years ago, we actually left China and we had expected to stay in China.
Yeah. So
we had no idea what we were going to do. And we found out, I guess it was by August that year, like we realized that we couldn't go back still, and we couldn't bank on being able to go back and get our university jobs. They needed to replace us with someone else because we couldn't get into the country and they had students to teach. So there was nothing we could really do. So I was pregnant, very pregnant. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to put together a business because he's studying at home and I'm about to have a newborn to feed and take care of. So I was just like, there's no way we're going to be able to just go to have a normal 9-to-5 job.
Right.
And especially in COVID at the time where it's like, okay, we're working. Okay, now we're closed. Okay, we're working. Now we're closed. So it's like, we just have to start teaching online. Yeah. And so that's the responsibility that I took on, was getting further certification. I already had certification in 4 years of teaching experience, but really wanted to just do a little bit more. And then start the business itself. And we started another business along with it for the soap and candle business because I come from a long line of that. So it was a no-brainer to do that too. And it was
a lot
just
of responsibilities.
A lot. It was a lot of responsibilities, but you did too. Like you were helping manage kids and stuff like that as well while you were not studying, and then studying to hurry up to get through that so that we could do the rest. Like, okay, he shoved like a 3-year program into 2 years, so that's pretty good.
That's a lot.
He worked his tail off. So, so we both actually took on a lot of responsibility, I think, just trying to do all that. So have you ever taken someone under your wing?
Actually, there was this one time when I was younger, my community had this program, kind of like a Big Brother kind of program, and they were trying to get more people involved. And so they were trying to get, people that were older in the group, trying to help the people that were younger in the group. And to be honest, as a confession, I didn't do a very good job, just because I didn't feel like I could help anyone at that time. I was an awkward preteen, so how could I help another person? Didn't really make sense to my mind. How could somebody put me in charge over a person. How could somebody trust me with another person?
Well, and you're also the youngest brother,
right.
So to become an older brother to someone else was kind of a hard thing, I'm sure.
Right, and so for me, yes, but it wasn't as successful. For you, you're the oldest child.
Yeah.
So for you, it's pretty natural.
It was kind of put on me.
Yeah.
I just had to take charge of my brothers. They watch this, so I know it's going to be funny.
Last question. What are some things that you want to see to over the next 5 years?
There's a lot in the next 5 years. I think one of the big things is getting Waggle Friends online. So we're working to put together online resources for much cheaper than private tutoring to help more people and give you guys a lot more practice and a lot better that you can work through on your own time. So like this YouTube thing is free, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's awesome. But we also want to do more structured lessons with actual homework and worksheets and all that stuff and quizzes and all that onto a website so that you guys can access it. We want you guys to be able to access it for a much more affordable price with quality English practice that has a lot of just contextualized English learning. So you learn acceptable English, not proper English.
And just a lot of resources. So when we were learning Chinese, we just didn't have access to a lot of resources.
Yeah.
So for our goal, especially over the next 5 years, especially with Waggle Friends, is to be able to have the platform, the website, to be able to kind of help you guys out more so than just this YouTube community can do, but to be able to kind of give you guys kind of the keys, so to speak, to be able to do it on your own time, wherever you are.
Yeah, but some other things I want to see too over the next 5 years is like getting our kids started in their own language learning. So we kind of do that. We play around with it. But I'd like to see James is 3 now. So, oh my goodness, he's going to be like well into school by 5 years.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so excited to like really see to his education and such, which we already do a lot, especially you with STEM. And he's got a mechanical mind already. But we definitely want to get a lot more language in there. Do a lot of stuff like that. It would just be fun. Yeah, all right, guys. So there's a little bit of a natural conversation using some common expressions that we use with phrasal verbs. And you heard a lot of the phrasal verbs that we've used, and we didn't touch on all 23, of course, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was just to speak more naturally on how we would normally speak.
If you guys have any questions or concerns about how these phrasal verbs can be used or what context, or maybe a little bit about the conversation that we just had just now, feel free to post those questions down in the comments and we'll respond to them as soon as we can. And that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.